Epstein with your morning flash update. And this update is for Tuesday, the 8th of February, 2022, and we're about 8:30 a.m., so the stock market, the cash markets are going to open right now. But you're getting some nice numbers out of the Dow. It's lifting up along with the Russell. Pretty mixed in the S&P and the NASDAQ, a little lower. Gold market doing a good job for a change, holding over the 1820 level. Starting to get a little impressed with that. The dollar a bit higher. We're also higher right now in the British pound. You're seeing some correction take place now evening into early morning in the grain market. You have a huge report tomorrow in the grains. So I think the market's seeing some profit taking, evening up before then. You're down fairly sharply in the energy markets today. There's more and more talk that the U.S. is going to do something with Iran. So it sounds as though they're hoping for a breakthrough. Obviously, the president wants to get the million barrel a day oil, but at what price? Can these people be trusted? The government there, they're not your friend. So I don't know. I don't know how much President Biden's prepared to give away. We're going to find out. But that's what's hurting this market right now in terms of pricing. You also are going to, obviously, at these prices, get Permian oil coming up all year long. I don't know if you watch BP. They're going to start giving away $1.5 billion now to their shareholders. These oil companies have made a fortune. Bitcoin backing off just a little bit. Bonds and notes, well, here you are. Nearly 196 in the 10-year note. On television, the Fed watch game is on as everybody's waiting to see 2% 10-year note. When we take a look at the news of the day, the Nfib Small Business Optimism Index, well, it came in a little lower at 97.1. It's interesting. I was reading through all the details, and I really covered them in detail today in my full research report. By the way, that brings up something. I want to remind you that we're going to have that live webinar this coming Thursday. I open it at 12:15. If you didn't get my invitation, it means you're not on my mailing list. It's being blocked by your mail, whatever. Just take your cursor and at any point just push it up here. You'll see an icon appear. That's your invite. Fill out everything. Go with that and write me whatever you want me to cover so I can get all the charts done before we begin this. But 12:15 I open, 12:30 we begin. All right, as I said, in the Optimism Index, higher wages, lower inventory. It appears that the inventories are filling in the small businesses. Was watching that. But people are fearful. Higher interest rates, higher inflation costs. They're just scared as to what they can pass around. The trade balance deficit came in much lower. They were looking for $83 billion. They got $80.7 billion. That's a pretty good number that's lower, about 3%. Red Book sales. Now, they've been running 14 to 16% increases. They're slipping a little bit now. And I think that we might have reached a peak where they're all that much better and they start coming down because you got to think of where we were a year ago, how the COVID, the Omicron, everything that was taking place, and where you're at in relation to that. Federal Reserve Bank of New York will get fourth quarter household debt and credit report, and at 3:30 we're going to get the API numbers. So there's an awful lot of data that's coming out. The market's doing its darn best right now to get through it, see what's going on. And of course, I want to remind you that I start you off every morning, if you're one of my subscribers, with my morning research. Now, for example, I start about 5:20, 5:30 now. I'm getting earlier and earlier of recording the video, so it's in your hand by about 6:15. So the first one that I do is a futures. I cover all the news of the day that's coming up. I tell you what's going on in Europe, and then we review 40 charts, looking for the trades that can be put on, where to put them on, stops, profit objectives, where to go. Saturdays, I record a weekly one where we're looking at the weekly charts and trying to make the best of longer-term trade ideas there. You also can view this in our handheld apps, which work on both iOS systems and, of course, the Android systems. And then in the stock indices and all this, you can see what I'm covering. I mean, it's currencies, all this, and of course, I do this at 9 o'clock. I do the same thing in my what? In my ETF video. So if you're interested, just go to our website. Under the word research, everything's explained there, and I'm Ira Epstein.